I know. Thank you, fake studio applause. You're always so kind to me. Hey, boys and girls, this is Frankie Blade. Excuse me one quick second. Yep, I'm sick. Fighting over a nasty cold, but I promised you guys an episode, and I always deliver. Keep that in mind, ladies. I always deliver. So, as here on the Frankie Blade Show, before it even took off, I announced I was going to do this podcast, radio show, whatever you want to call it. The first thing that happened to me was I had a bombardment of people. Do not talk about relationships. Do not talk about your last relationship. Do not talk about our relationship. Do not talk about this. Do not talk about that. Don't this. Don't that. And even friends were like, don't mention this. Don't mention that. Don't mention this. Don't mention that. Family didn't really know about it. But then I'm thinking, the guy who helps me with this was saying, what is the one thing that you were told not to do? I said, well, by you told me not to talk about relationships, and other people said that. Okay, what else? I said, well, certain friends didn't want me to mention certain stories. He's like, you got to do something with that. So, don't worry. I'm not going to talk about stupid things you all have done. I'm not going to talk about, little stories about me. I'm going to talk about relationships in general. This is a 3-part episode, which means this is going to be 3 different episodes. We're going to talk about friends, we're going to talk about family, and we're going to talk about love. Now, this is going to be right here about friends. So if you're waiting for the family or love one, skip ahead. So, this episode, we want to talk about friends. Who are your friends? Do you have a lot of them? Are they there for you? Do they care for you? Or are you being taken advantage of? Are you taking advantage of them? We're going to find that out. Okay, first, friendship is a dynamic relationship, meaning that it involves a series of interactions between two individuals known to each other. Second, most experts contend that friendship involves a reciprocated, affective, or emotional bond. Meaning, you talk to this person, you share your emotions, you go through things together. It's not like some stranger on the street, hi and bye. It's different. We know this. But the thing is, with a lot of relationships, you have people that build you up, you have people that put you down. Now, some is, fun and games. I got friends that rag on me all the time. We crack jokes, we rag on each other, but the difference is they do this out of humor for me and for the people around me. They're not going to cross that line to become hurtful or painful. What I mean by that is they are not doing it to be vindictive. They are not doing it to be hurtful. Intent has a lot to do with it. Now, what I'm saying is, you can roll with the punches, but never take disrespect disguised as a joke. What I mean by that is, if someone's being blatantly disrespectful, let me give a good example here. Okay, you go into someone's house, it's messy, dirty, disgusting. A joke could be like, oh, thanks for cleaning up for me. Quick, short, to the point. You're also kind of saying, hey, your place is kind of dirty, man. You might want to clean it up in case you ever bring back some bitches. That could be, taken as a joke. But downright disrespectful is, oh my God, look at your place. Jesus, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? God, light a match. Ugh. Your parents raised you this way? No reason your parents left, it's no wonder why, your mom, jumped off that building, Shit like that, it will fucking get your ass whipped, for one. But it's a point I'm trying to make, Jokes are one thing, disrespect is another. Another thing about friendships is, same thing with any relationship, it is a give and take. Now, I'm not saying... Excuse me. I'm not saying, you have to, give emotional support while you take their shit, you know? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everything's give and take, 50-50, you know? I've seen friendships literally end over some stupid shit. A good example, I saw these two girls. They were arguing. One girl was buying the other friend all these lavish gifts, you know, just pouring her heart out for her. It almost looked like a relationship, you would say. But, you know, like a love relationship. But the other girl did not have the financial means to return the favor. Now, there's a correct way to do this and a wrong way. The correct way would be to sit the friend who's buying you all these gifts down and say, look, I really appreciate my friendship with you. You know, what you're doing, I really appreciate, but I feel bad because I cannot do this for you because I do not have like a job or financial stability to do this. Now, what you can do is, you know, like 99-cent store, okay? Unless you're homeless and don't have a dollar, a 99-cent store card just shows that you thought about the person. It shows that you at least tried when you're the one receiving the gifts. But you should also set this person down and ask them to chill with that for a while. There's a right way and a wrong way to do that, though. What I mean is, you know, be kind about it, you know. This person cares a lot about you. Maybe the only way they know how to show affection is by buying it. There are people that do that. People buy affection and love because they don't have the emotional or mental maturity to show it other ways. Now, what I mean by that is I'm not saying the person's like retarded or, you know, got an issue or a psycho. I'm just saying that's how they were taught to show their affection. The other person who was doing all this, you know, told me, because I do know these two people, I don't get why they can't do this for me. I'm doing it for them. I'm doing this. And the other person informed me, hey, I'm financially struggling here. I barely have rent. I barely can afford food for myself. I can't keep doing this for this person. Long story short, try to explain that to both of them, you know. They ended up going their separate ways. I haven't spoken to either one of them in years, so I have no idea if they ever mended that friendship, but it's sad to see that. Now, there are people that just simply, in a different case, get taken advantage of. You have that one friend. We all have that one friend who oversteps their bounds and is a taker more than a giver. They want to extort, twist, and turn any situation to their advantage. A good example is you could be going to a show and say you got an extra ticket and you're going to take your loved one, your lover, your whoever. This person finds out you have an extra ticket to a show, immediately volunteers himself. Great, man. Hey, so when time are you going to pick me up, man? We're going, right? You're going to take me, right? And then if you say no, they just immediately twist it to make you sound like a horrible human being. That's a sick individual. That's a toxic relationship. But do you know what a toxic relationship really is? All relationships have their moments of drama, but if your relationship, your friendship, whatever, is, you know, taking more energy than it's giving you, it may be time to reevaluate that friendship, that relationship. Now, I'm not saying you got a Chicago drop off the person in the car, you know, kick them out the fucking door as the car's rolling and be like, tuck and roll, motherfucker. No, not like that. Okay, so psychology expert Lillian Glass is the one who coined the term toxic relationship in a 1995 book. She put in there, it says that a toxic relationship is one in which the partner in which the partner completely disrespects or seeks to undermine the other. Another indicator of a toxic relationship is quite simple, how you feel. So what I'm trying to say is like ask yourself, is this relationship giving me more than it is taking from me? You know, you want to grow with people, your friends. You want to be tighter with your boys, right, guys? Girls, you want that sisterhood, sisterhood of the traveling panties or whatever. You want that closeness of each other. That's kind of disgusting, but you want a friend who you can count on. If someone called me right now, 2 or 3 in the morning, Frankie, I need to shovel out some trash bags, man. I really need your help. I'd be like, huh? Yeah, man. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Like once you wake up, you might want to reevaluate that situation. But you're there for your guys. You're there for your boys. Your boys got to be a tightness. You don't want to rat each other out or throw each other under the fucking bus. You're there for your friends. But you got to be careful. Some friends are not your friends. The worst thing you can have is not an enemy. Enemies make themselves blatantly clear. They don't like you. They're a hater. They're not for your progression in life. Those are the ones you need to almost thank because they openly say they don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like anything you're about. You're scum. You're gum on my shoe. I've heard the whole thing before. Those people you almost gotta thank. Well, you're like, Frankie, why the fuck would I thank them? Because it shows you're doing something right, for once. Within reason, people. I mean, if you're out freaking raping and pillaging and, destroying the town, you're going to have a lot of those. But, I mean, that's stupid shit. But I'm talking about if you are not hurting anyone and you are not hurting yourself and what you are doing makes you happy and there's people hating on you for that, cut ties. But those people at least blatantly, openly say they don't like you. That's a good thing. Because the worst thing is a friend who really doesn't like you but never tells you. The friend who wants to use you, who wants to take the benefits of your life for themselves. What I mean by that is, if you're in a supervisor role, and you have that one person who works under you that's really nice to you and gets along with you, ask yourself, was this person my friend before I became a supervisor? Was this person my friend before I got that promotion? Was this person a friend with me before I started dating this hot chick or getting this car or doing this? Look at reasons why people come into your life. Now, I'm not saying you have to be paranoid. I'm not saying you have to shun new people out from coming into your life. But what I'm saying is look at everything both ways. Look at it from the good and the bad. Not saying, start persecuting people and calling everyone a Judas, but, really look at your circle. They say the smaller your circle, the less drama you deal with. Well, that's because it's the less people you associate with. That doesn't really have any grounds for anything. I'm just saying. You want a mutual and personal bond with your friends. You want a way you could build each other up. You can't be in a relationship, whether it be like a friendship, and just be the giver. You cannot just be the taker either. You need to be both. You need 100% of you giving yourself towards people and receiving help from people. There are people too proud to receive help. Don't be that person. If somebody is willing to help you, take the help. There is no shame, guys, in receiving help. If you're working on a car, a house, or whatever, and you don't know how to do something, it is not weakness to admit you don't know how to do something. If you have a friend who's offering their help to help you, take the help. And if they know something you don't know, ask them to show you this. And guys, if your friend asks you for help and you have knowledge, show them, help build them up. I mean, if you work in the